winds up to about west, like hills and we're pointing down toward 75 degrees. I felt that rain-cooled air come in here to where we are at KVUE. So I'd imagine here we're going to get another update on the temperature in like 30 minutes. I'd imagine that's going to drop pretty substantially. And I've got the YouTube pulled up here, so we don't have any YouTube comments pulled up. But if you have any questions, concerns, reports, anything like that, feel free to send me a note on Hunt_WX is my handle there, and we'll do our best to get that addressed for you. Real quick, we'll just kind of talk about the weekend forecast as a whole. Then Sunday looks like it's going to be mainly dry. Today, by the way, look at this. For the second day in a row, we hit 102 for Austin. So that, again, for the second day in a row, is our hottest temperature so far of the summer. And this was our fourth day of triple-digit heat. So all of a sudden, and by the way, 102 at the airport is the hottest temperature the airport has seen so far this summer. So all of a sudden, we're starting to add up these triple-digit days, and we're not nearly to where we were at this point last year, where we had 32 triple-digit days, but we're up to 7. And remember, a normal summer brings about 33, 32, 33 triple-digit days for Austin. So we still have all of August, and we know we can get triple digits well into September too. So there's definitely a world where this still could be a summer that ends up getting about average or even above average with triple-digit days. Again, I'm not saying that's going to happen, but just before we write off the heat for this summer, I fully expect we're going to have some more really hot readings as we go through the month of August. Here's some of the model data through the rest of this evening, and then also for tomorrow. Backtrack through this. Again, this hit or miss stuff, it's really in the process of weakening now. We just have this one heavy downpour over southwest Austin, but that'll weaken here probably in the next hour or so. And once the sun goes down, the rest of the late evening and overnight will be completely dry. And then as we go into Saturday, the morning's going to be dry. No issues through the first part of the day, but as we heat things up and we still have this frontal boundary over us, new showers and downpours are going to develop for the mid to late afternoon into the early evening of your Saturday. So here's 2:30. Here's 5:30, 6, 7, 8. Sun goes down, everything's going to weaken, and that will kind of be it. It's going to be a little cooler for your Saturday. I think we might narrowly avoid triple digits in Austin, but it's going to be close. We're going to be at about 99 with a 30% chance for showers and storms. As we have seen today, while some areas won't get rain at all, others will get heavy rain. So that low-end risk, a level 1 risk for flooding, is going to continue through this evening and then again on your Saturday. And then the Storm Prediction Center has not outlined any formal severe weather category for us. So we've got a flood outlook, but not a severe storm outlook. But just like today, when it's hot like this, when it's 100 degrees, any of these storms that go up could easily produce small hail and strong winds as these microburst winds take place. This is the graph model and what it's printing out for additional rainfall. Again, this will be very spotty, but you see that where those little streaks of blue develop, that's where there could be pockets that get a quick inch plus of rain, maybe even more than that, like what we've seen over parts of Mason County through today. And then here's the 7-day forecast. Look, we're going to be 99, 100 pretty much each day for the next 7 days, and that goes back to what I was talking about earlier. As we go into August, if we just start clipping off triple-digit days here, then quickly we can get back on pace. Could each of these days be 98, 99? Sure. Could each of these days be 100, 101? Yes, we're just kind of right on that line, and that's just the nature of forecasting here in Austin this time of the year. It's going to be around 100. Some of these days that say 99 probably will hit triple digits, and some maybe could be staying down below 98, 97. But we're going to be in that neighborhood here for the next 7 days, and likely beyond that all through the month of August, unless anything big changes. Okay, let's go back to the radar, and we'll see what's happening with our storm in Austin. We'll zoom back down to this. We've talked about the wind and the rain. This thing's also producing some lightning too. So I'll do the lightning tracker for you and we can count the amount of lightning bolts here. This is producing 59 lightning strikes over the past 15 minutes. So nothing crazy, you know, and when we get really big severe storms, that number can be like several thousand, and it's not the case. But it's a Friday, late afternoon, Friday evening. We could have folks maybe out at like Zilker hanging out. You're definitely in the zone there where, you know, we want folks to be indoors and protected or into the car. Just make sure you're protected with some of these lightning strikes here over the southwest side of the Austin Metro. Then the other thing too, the hail tracker, we're probably not going to see any. Well, I take that back. Our hail tracker is picking up on some small hail here around the Oak Hill area. Now this is going to be less than quarter size, but let's punch up the numbers here. Let's see what it says. Yeah, walnut size hail. So nickel to walnut size hail and about 40-mile-per-hour winds is what we've got with this storm. Let's zoom in kind of street level here with the hail tracker. I'll make this easier to see for you. So Escarpment Boulevard, Convict Hill Road, Oak Hill Elementary, Old Bee Cave Road, the ACC campus there. Then getting down to Davis Lane, Mills Elementary School, into the Circle C Ranch area. I'm not saying that necessarily all of this hail is reaching the ground. This is detected up in the storm, right, and this is small hail, but especially out here around Oak Hill, nickel to walnut size hail is a possibility with this storm. We're watching this thing from several angles. There it is from above our tower cam. And here, actually, I'll punch this up so that we can, I can draw on this and show you what I mean. So let me show you this. So this is what we call a rain foot. So you can see here, I'm going to get the pencil. So you see, obviously we've got the rain descending down, but then it kicks out here at the end. You see that? That's what we call a rain foot. So basically we've got all this heavy, dense, rain-cooled air, which is descending down from the storm like this, right? So we've got rain-cooled air descending down from the storm. You can tell just how incredible of an artist I am, by the way. All right, I've got this this has gone south quickly. Anyways, you've got rain-cooled air, which is descending down from the storm. It hits the ground, and then it accelerates outward. Okay, I think we've had enough. We've had enough of my artistic abilities there. I tried. You get the idea. Rain-cooled air hits the ground, and it accelerates outward. I was never much of an artist. When I was in high school, you know, you've got to take art class in high school, right? So I took draw paint, which is like the most basic thing, right? You just draw and paint. Well, that semester, I was the only one taking that class. So they put me, so they got rid of my section of draw paint. Well, they didn't get rid of it. They took my classroom and the 2 or 3 of us that were taking just draw paint, and they lumped us in with the AP art students. So now all of a sudden, you know, I'm in there with Picasso and everybody. And it was just embarrassing. Anyways, I've not improved my art skills at all. I'm sure that's what you tuned into the stream to hear about. So Oak Hill, that's where we have heavy rain and maybe some small hail, which is taking place right now. Circle C Ranch, Fort Oaks, Sunset Valley, into about the Vincent area. So South Austin into especially southwest Austin and along the 290 corridor is where we've got this heavy rain. And look, we'll check in with the radar estimated totals again. Still, we're not seeing any green. When you start to see green show up, that's where we've got at least an inch of rain. And we're not seeing that yet, but I'd imagine we will here soon. Well, there we go. Radar estimates are upwards of an inch of rain now with this cell. And then as we go back into the velocity, here, let's loop that. We'll make it slow. And you can, I know the velocity is a little complicated, but you can just kind of see how the heavy rain starts, right? And then this is the frame where it was most evident there, this. So we've got rain-cooled air going out that way, going out that way. So this rain, the rain-cooled air descends down to the ground, hits the ground, and accelerates outward. So we'll hang on here and we'll continue to track this storm a little while longer. Again, it's not severe. Don't want anybody to be too worried about it, but we've got signs that this has produced some microburst winds at times that could be up to about 40 miles per hour. And that's why they've issued a strong storm advisory on this. Let me show you that. Remember, this is like a step down below a severe thunderstorm warning. So here's a look at that. And they've got this where it would drift down to the southwest towards Wimberley. Clearly that it's basically been stationary here. But what they're saying here in the text of this statement, they're saying at 7:12, so that was what, about 25 minutes ago, Doppler radar was tracking a strong thunderstorm over Shady Hollow or over Tanglewood Forest, moving southwest at 25. Winds in excess of 40 and half-inch hail are a possibility. Impact gusty winds could knock down tree limbs and blow around unsecured objects. Minor damage to outdoor objects is possible. Again, we had some more substantial damage, unfortunately, it appears in Thrall earlier with kind of a similar storm. This one likely not quite as intense. This is over a populated area, so I think if this thing was really throwing down big wind, I think we'd know about it. But certainly some strong winds can't be ruled out. Here's a new update coming in from the National Weather Service. They say a flood advisory is coming for southwest Travis and northeastern Hayes County. Radar has estimated 1 to 1.5 inches of rain has occurred so far. They've got one of the rain gauges there that's measured 1.32 inches of rain. So in addition to our strong storm statement, we are going to have a flood advisory coming for this storm shortly. And by the way, earlier when I was talking about a flood advisory coming, that was actually for a section of the hill country, not in our KVUE area. So we'll wait here. You're going to see this flood advisory pop onto the map here shortly. There it is. This is a very localized one. But this will go until 11 p.m. for Oak Hill and Shady Hollow, the Cedar Valley area. And we'll click into this and I'll read the information of this flood advisory for you. Flood advisory until 11 p.m. for parts of Hayes and Travis. Minor flooding in low drainage areas, dangerous flows over low water crossings and water over roadways. At 7:39, Doppler radar indicated heavy rain due to thunderstorms. This will cause urban and small stream flooding. Between 1 and 2 inches of rain have fallen. Additional rainfall amounts up to 1 inch are expected. This additional rain will result in minor flooding. Some locations that will experience flooding include Austin, Dripping Springs, Tanglewood, and I would say that's like the far eastern extent of Dripping Springs. By the way, Tanglewood Forest, Bear Creek, and Sunset Valley. As we always tell you, turn around, don't around. We do have a number of LCRA sensors here, so I'll switch over to this. Sometimes this graphic is not the most elegant looking graphic. This probably does better. Again, a quick 1.5 inches of rain has already fallen, and we still have heavy rain, which is training over these same areas. We've been watching this thing. Here is our tower cam on the big rain shafts developed. This view, which is from our Zach Theater camera, we're kind of looking at the edge of it. The bigger part of the storm is blocked by a building there, but we're watching this thing, so that's what it looks like right there. It kind of starts like Sunset Valley down along the 290 area in the vicinity of Oak Hill. That's where this slow-moving heavy downpour has developed. Radar loop. I think I'm going to put in a radar loop here, and obviously I'm here and I'm watching it. Take a little bit of a breather here, and we'll probably do another update here in the next 15 to 20. Problematic thing that we have right now, and I don't want to scare anybody. I know the issues that we've had with flooding here for the past several months in central Texas. This is like ponding on roadways, urban street flooding, those trouble spots in your